Hello, I'm Professor Susan DeGise. This tutorial is on practice 3.6. Directions. Based on the given note that equals one beat, write the value of the other notes. Alright, I'm going to do number 1. If you already feel comfortable, please do numbers 1 through 3 on your own, pause the video, and press play when you're ready. Otherwise, you can follow along with number 1 with me. Okay, so in number 1, a quarter note is equal to 1. So here, we know this quarter note is equal to 1, but it's a double dotted note. So the first dot means you're going to add half the value of 1, which is half. Then the second dot means you're going to add half the value of half, which is a fourth. So 1 plus half plus a fourth equals 1 and 3/4. Now, there are two ways to think of this. If you do it mathematically, you're going to use a common denominator, which means that you're going to think of this with 4 on the bottom. So 1/2 is equal to 2/4. So if you have 2/4 plus 1/4, that equals 3/4. If you're a visual learner, you might think of a pie or a cake. So half of 1 is half. And half of half is a fourth. So if you add this half plus this fourth, what you get is 3/4, because only 1/4 is left. So you have 1 and 3/4. Okay, for letter B, we start with a half note. So if a quarter note is equal to 1, a half note is equal to 2. The first dot means add half, so we add 1. And the second dot means add half of 1, so we add half. So 2 plus 1 is 3, plus half is half, 3.5. All right, go ahead and try numbers 2 and 3 on your own. Pause the video and press play when you're ready. Okay, in number 2, the half note is worth 1 beat. So if the half note is worth 1, the quarter note is worth half. Okay. The first dot is worth half of half, which is a fourth, and the last dot is worth half of a fourth, which is an eighth. Now for this one, I think using the common denominator is going to be the easiest. So on the bottom, we want to have the number 8. So 1/8 is 1/8, but in order to make 1/4 the same as a number with 8 on the bottom, we need to multiply the top with 2 like we did the bottom. So this would be 2/8. And in order to make the top number equivalent here, we need to multiply the top and bottom by 4. So 2 times 4 equals 8. 1 times 4 equals 4. So now we can just add the top numbers here. We have 4 plus 2 plus 1. So this is going to be equal to 7/8. It might be a little bit hard to draw the cake for this one. Okay. All right, letter B. It starts with a half note, which is equal to 1. First dot, you add half. Next dot, you add half of half. So we have 1 plus half plus a fourth. So that equals to 1 and 3/4. Okay, number 3. Now the eighth note is worth 1 beat. So if an eighth note is worth 1 beat, a quarter note is equal to 2. The first dot, you add half. The second dot, you add half of that. So that becomes 3.5. And the last example, if an eighth note is equal to 1, a quarter note is equal to 2, a half note is equal to 4. So this is worth 4. The first dot, we add half of 4, which is 2, and the last dot we add half of 2, which is 1. So 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. So if an eighth note equals 1 beat, a double dotted half note is equal to 7 beats. All right, so these are not as common. You should definitely know the dotted notes, but you may encounter double dotted notes. If you have any questions about this subject, please reread section 3.6. You've now completed the tutorial for practice 3.6. Thank you for watching.